I've been in this field for 19. I'm going into my 20th year. Next year it'll be 20 years. I started when I was 11. About 8, I knew for sure that this is what I was called to do. When I was 8, that was the fear. The fear was that I knew that there were those who had lived longer than I had lived. You know, some 3, 4, 5 times over, and yet I have this word, or I have this message I have to share with them that they're supposed to listen to and follow. I'm 8. Who's gonna listen to an 8-year-old? No, what does he have to say? No, he can't tell me anything. He knows nothing about the struggles I'm dealing with, none of that. And at that moment, they were right. I didn't. I had no idea that, but I knew what I was called to do. And growing up, I had 2 sets of friends. I had my school friends, and then I had my church friends. My church friends, it was easy for them to kind of see what was going on with me because we were in church. I mean, even though they really didn't understand all together as well, but they were more accepting because we were in the same environment. My friends from school, on the other hand, I couldn't really tell them anything because they would look at me like I was crazy. You gonna do what? No, I couldn't have, see, you can't have both worlds. You know, and in the beginning, I tried to do that. Well, that's what kind of got me in trouble. So yeah, at first I tried to hold on to it, but I later learned that you can't hide that. You know, it's all or nothing. I was always in something, all the time. I mean, if some of my teachers knew what I was doing right now, they would be shocked. I mean, just appalled. Like, really, that boy? I remember vividly one account. We were I was in middle school, and I was bad with it, but I was an entrepreneur thinker. And so there was a soda machine in the teacher's lounge, and we had this one guy who was with us. He knew how to jimmy the lock to get us in. And we would just tip the soda machine over and get as many sodas as we could out of it. And then we sold those sodas and made a profit off of those sodas. I mean, oh man, we did all types of stuff. I was always in trouble. I think my wife would probably say that she likes the fact that I'm doing something different. That way I'm not in a box with everybody else.
Corruption in those areas. Amen. It is important that we speak about all of those issues, and that's what they've been waiting on.
To help anybody that is in struggle or in any sort of need, with any sort of affliction, is the greatest joy in the world for me personally, because I was once in that same seat. And I believe all of us were created to solve a problem. And sometimes problems aren't dealing with people, but it's still a problem nonetheless. The objective is to make sure that we help and reach out and do something for somebody else. If somebody did that for you, you would want to do that for them. I think that stems from somebody loving, from love. That if we could sell that to the world, I mean, wow, it would really be different. It really would. And you know, what is God? God is love. So really, that's kind of like a connection back to where you come from. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that if we had more love out here, it would be so much better. Just so much better. A love for people, a love for family, a love and respect, even for other religions. We don't have to be a part of the same thing for us to have love for each other. You know, I think that, you know, Martin and Malcolm was a great example of that. You know, they were from 2 different sides of the track, but there were some issues that were so prevalent to the community that they were even willing to put down their differences to show their sense of unity, you know. And I just believe that where there's unity, there's strength, and unity stems from love. I really would have to say, if I could change anything about the world, I think it would be more reverence for love. I really believe that if our world was a more loving society, Not in the sense of, you know, we gotta walk down the street and say I love you, but just the mere fact of honoring another individual. I think it would be totally different. You know, all walks of faith. I'll give you an example. We live in the United States of America, and we're known as the freedom country. You know, you can come here from any part of the world and exceed and excel, and because they believe that, or the belief is that, you know, we're the only place where you really got a chance of making it. Well, I think that stems from somebody loving. It stems from love there. If we could sell that to the world, I mean, wow, it would really be different. It really would. Yeah.
Today we were out here today on the corners of 23rd and Ridge, and our objective of being out here today is to bring what we do on the inside on the outside. If we believe in what we're doing, it takes us to have a community effort and to come to where the issue is to make a change happen in our community. You can't change what you're not willing to confront. And if the issues are in the street, then why not come to the street where the issues are and speak to the problems that are in our community? That's my passion, and that's my heart. I'm willing to hit the street, and I'm hitting the street not just for me, but I'm hitting the streets for what I believe in. And if more people would learn to come back to what they believe in, we can get a greater sense of unity in our community.
What you have experienced this week was not an accident. It was meant on purpose, and the enemy would have had it that you would have died from. The enemy would have had that you would even be here based off of that event. Look at somebody close and tell them that the devil's a liar. Victory is in your voice. God has a unique way of training us or teaching us to prep us for the next level, next phase in our lives. I don't believe that He allows anybody to go into any new thing without preparation first. God does not allow you to experience anything without first preparing you for what it is that you're going to encounter. The struggle is knowing when He's preparing you and knowing when things are about to shift and change in your life. Once the change happens in you, He then can use you as a steward of righteousness to provoke change in somebody else. You have to see yourself in it even before anybody else can see you in it. It's because He wants to use you so that you can help perfect somebody else. And don't let it dictate to you how you're going to respond and how you're going to handle. Don't let the problems in front of you dictate to you how you're going to measure up against that. You have the power in you. After all the problem in carrying you, lift up the authority of God. You are carrying the problem. You got to learn what the real glory and the real honor is. Your problem has no glory. God put the glory in you. You have the ability to counter and change all that you are dealing with. The question is, do you believe it? Give God the praise. That is not by accident that occurs. It is actually a lesson that we ought to learn in that moment. And the lesson is that nothing should go to waste, that nothing should go unnoticed. Everything has a purpose, a plan, and something particularly connected to your life. If it happened to you, around you, if you are somehow connected to it, there is a reason Can you say amen?